Welcome to Winning Matches, a podcast for the recreational tennis player to help empower your game and win more. Here's your host, Emmy Award-winning investigative journalist Lori Stein, along with former pro player and coach to thousands of recreational tennis players, Jane Foreman.
Welcome to today's episode of Winning Matches. I'm Lori Stein. I'm here along with Jane Foreman. Hi, Jane.
Hey, Lori. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right, today's episode, as other episodes, is sponsored by Vocal Tennis, 50 years of German engineering, and also Rockney pickleball paddles. We love pickleball. Do we love pickleball?
Pickleball's a big part of our business. I love that part of pickleball for sure. But we love Rockney paddles. They're the best. And we love Vocal Tennis. That's the company I represent, and I think they're the best rackets in the world.
I agree. I play with a Vocal, and I love it. And it's also really good for avoiding tennis elbow, correct?
Yeah, a lot of people think that Vocal, oh, that's the racket for people who have like injuries or tennis elbow and everything. They have just a little quick plug for Vocal. They have this neat system inside the racket. It's a shock absorber that goes inside the grip, and it goes the length of the grip. So you know how you have those little shock absorbers on the racket?
Right.
This shock absorber's in the racket that goes the whole length of the grip.
Maybe that's why I've never had tennis elbow.
Could be.
Knock on.
Yes.
Whatever
It's
this
preventive.
Is. Yes, preventative. Okay, so today's episode is about things you can learn from watching the pros and what we as recreational players and pros have in common. And this comes right on the heels of the U.S. Open, which I attended very briefly. So I learned so much.
Well, I want to ask you a question about you going to the U.S. Open. Did you?
What, do you want to know what I wore?
Yeah, no, I want to know if you wore tennis clothes to the U.S. Open.
No, that's so cheesy. I bought tennis clothes at the U.S. Open and at the Miami Open, but you don't go wearing the outfit. You're not a player.
Well, it's really funny story. When I played and I was traveling week to week on the tour, you'd always have a lot of volunteers and a lot of people helping out, and housing and transportation, all sorts of people, and tons of people in the stands and everything. And we used to make so much fun about them, of the people, especially the women wearing tennis clothes at the tennis events.
So it's not cool.
I don't think it's cool.
No, this is a public service announcement. Oh, yes. And I want to tell people, too, when you wear jeans when you're skiing, that's not cool either, according to the people behind the scenes. This is good information.
That's kind of like, that's wet, too.
Well, the presumption is that I'm so good, I'm not going to fall, I can wear jeans. But it looks goofy to the people who work there, apparently.
Well, I used to make so much fun of these people that used to wear tennis clothes. I was like, what are they doing? Anyway, they still try to wear the clothes that the pros were wearing. The same styles.
Okay, that's really bad. But it is a dilemma what to wear to go watch tennis. Like, there's never the perfect outfit. Well, I never have the perfect outfit.
Well, obviously, let's take a look at us today. I mean, look at you, okay, coming into, do the podcast. It's
team happy hour today, so killing
two
birds with one stone.
That's it. And then, now look at me. I'm still in my outfit that I was here this morning at 7 o'clock.
I've never seen you in any other outfit in your entire life. You sleep in this.
Yes. But also, just to get back to what you wear at these little tennis tournaments or, the pro tournaments, I used to make so much fun of these people. And then, when I stopped playing, I really got into golf. And I decided to go watch a professional golf tournament at the Doral in Miami.
And everyone's wearing golf clothes.
And so I was so excited to go to the golf tournament, and I swear to God to you, I put my golf clothes on and my golf shoes. And I got to the tournament, and I said to myself, oh my God, I'm one of these people.
You are. And was everyone, but people do wear golf clothes, right?
Well, golf clothes are a little easier
to wear. Golf people aren't as cool as tennis.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. So did you hear about the Meghan Markle effect? Like what she wears to watch tennis, and she went to the Invictus Games, whatever. I'm not exactly sure how you say it, but the outfit she wore sold out on J.Crew. It's a really...
Yeah,
do you care about this? I think our listeners care. It's like a white cardigan with dark piping, and it's super cute. It's like $118.
Are you like doing a plug for J.Crew?
No. Well,
did you buy it? Did you buy it?
I haven't yet. Like, I'm on the fence. I'm not the biggest Meghan Markle fan, but I like her style.
She's like Lady D, Lady Diana's. Like, remember she used to wear something.
Really.
She used to she used to wear something, and then it went viral, and everybody would buy it. It's the same type of effect.
She has good style.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Next year, I'm wearing that cardigan.
Okay.
All right. So, what can we learn? I learned some cool things. I went to the Ons Jabeur match. Don't ask me who she was playing because I don't.
I watched that match.
Yes.
And
Bala, how do you say it?
I can't.
I'm the worst
tennis
It's something
watcher. It's something over.
Yeah. Okay. Glad it's not just me.
No, you know what? I watched a lot of tennis this year, and I don't generally sit in front of the TV and watch tons of tennis. I don't usually like to, but since I started doing the podcast and I have this blog on Facebook that I'm operating, and we have a lot of people following that, I've gotten into watching more tennis because I want to become more educated on behind the scenes stuff. And I wanted to do some similarities between, I wanted to note some similarities between rec players and pros, or what the recreational player can get out of watching the pros. And the first thing I really realized watching that match, because she played horrendous that match.
I didn't know she was sick, and I was with my friend.
I don't think you really watch tennis when you go, do you? Are you drinking and what is that?
I had
the
one
honey.
melon
What is it?
ball,
what is the honeydew drink or something that they serve there?
Yeah,
you're not really watching. Admit it.
No,
you're
I
not
was
watching,
and she sliced a lot, and I kept saying to my friend, "That's what I do."
Yeah,
and I go, they call it the lorry, and it's the slice. We have something in common.
When you say we call it the lorry, I say that a couple times, but I don't think anybody else calls it.
Yes,
the
they do.
Okay.
Everybody calls it that. No, one of your employees who trains us calls it the lorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And some friends of mine also.
So you're comparing your slice to Owen's slice? Okay, so my first big takeaway for our recreational player to get empowered by watching this is I knew I was watching this match, and it mesmerized me, not because of the great tennis, because probably that was the worst tennis I've ever seen her play.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a great player. And it was amazing to me how bad she was playing, but I had a feeling, and I knew she was going to win the match.
Yeah.
And because of her determination, her perseverance, the way she just fought through her demons, whatever they were that day. So my first takeaway in that match is, for recreational players, similarities is, you can play bad. You can play bad and still win the match. And the one who perseveres the most, who doesn't give up, who fights through it, whatever you got that day, whatever is happening to you that day, whatever you're feeling like that day, you can still win the match. And I always tell people in my lessons and the clinics that the mark of a good player is that they can play bad and win. Everybody can win when they're playing well,
mm-hmm.
but the ones that win when they're playing bad, to me, are great players.
And was she sick?
She was sick.
Yeah.
But forget it. Who cares? I mean, she was out there playing. There's no excuses. I mean, she decided to play the tournament, then she's got to give whatever she has out there, and she found a way, and she got far. She didn't play well the whole tournament, but she got far for being that ill or coming through whatever she was coming through. So good for her.
Yeah, it is an inspiration.
So that was my number one takeaway. So just going back to similarities, listen, pro players are human just like recreational players. They make mistakes. I think that the recreational player looks up to these pro players like they are unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're human, and they're gonna misreturn serves, they're gonna double fault, they're gonna make similar mistakes as the recreational player makes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to, understand that. It's okay.
And they lose their cool too.
They lose their cool. They lose their composure. They lose their confidence, just like recreational players do. That's number 2. Number 3, recreational players need to be innovative and strategic, just like professional players. So when you need to have a game plan when you're going out to play a match. You need to know what you're going to try to do, even if you don't know your opponents. But the pro players usually know their opponents, so their team behind them comes up with a strategic plan on how they're going to attack the match.
And the creativity when your strategy is not working.
Yeah, I call that the ability to adjust.
Right, constantly.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing smart opponents, as soon as you've come up with a strategy, they've overcome it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a chess game. They make a move, you have to make a move. So you have to be mentally on your toes, equally to physically on your toes in a match. And recreation players, the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope everybody can understand that. Recreational players need to deal with the pressure just like professional players. Obviously, the pressures are different. You're a recreational player. Maybe you're playing in a league.
I felt pressure today, Jane. If I didn't win today, I put
pressure on I put a lot of pressure on my players.
It's so stressful.
I know. But
my psychiatrist
I think that makes
says that you should. I'm just kidding. That would be really bad.
Lori, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
It's okay. If you speak with somebody, it's okay. I think everybody should
speak with them about you putting pressure on us.
Sometimes
I can't handle it. It's really intense, and
I think a lot of people,
and she's a little abusive. And
I think a lot of people I teach go to a psychologist because of the lessons I give.
You wish.
No, I think it happens. Anyway, I do put pressure on people.
But I knew that if we didn't win, you weren't going to play us again, because you said to me, "Do you see how you're playing in the next match? That's because you won the last one."
I was somewhat kidding.
Not really.
Maybe a little bit, but yeah, you know what? If we want to win as a team, and so this is the pressures that recreational players deal with. If they're and you don't want to lose for the team. I think the pressure for recreational players is that they are playing for a team. They're not just playing for themselves.
Yes, and this is the first... Well, I captained a team before, and I was like, it's okay if you lose.
I remember with the website.
But it is important to feel like you have to win for the... Oh, I had an interesting thing today. Somebody questioned my call. And in the past, that would really get to me. I mean, I circled it. It was actually her serve. It was her first serve, and it was behind the line. Like, get over it. And it wasn't like a major... You're laughing because this is so stupid. And,
well, I'm laughing because every single person listening to this gets their calls questioned.
But it used to get to me, because this woman is looking at me saying, "Oh, are you sure?" And I said, "You can come look at it if you want. I've circled the mark. Come look at it."
Let's go back to that. But they all say, "Are you sure?" No, I'm not sure, but I'm calling it out. I mean, I think that's the stupidest thing that you could ask somebody. Hey, out. Are you sure? No, I'm not sure, but I'm still calling it out.
Right. It's like, okay, this is a non sequitur, but it's like when you have a service dog and you take it on the airplane, they're not allowed to ask you a lot of questions about why you have a service dog.
Is this has to go to psychological? Did your psychiatrist tell you to get a service dog after you went to them about the
I need a service dog because I'm stressed about matches. And when I'm on the plane and there's turbulence, it brings it all back. I hear little Jane Foreman say, "You better win," and I get all
Does
nervous.
the dog help you?
Yeah, the dog's like, no.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is that when there's a questionable call, people feel like they can't say too much except, "Are you sure?"
I mean,
it's all
to me,
dumb.
If you really think the ball is, I know we're getting off topic, but if you really think the ball is in, I wouldn't say, "Are you sure?" I would say, "Okay, I know it's your call, but that ball was like at least a foot in. So, we'll just move on." Just let her know that the ball is in.
No, it was out.
Without. I'm sorry.
Right. I said, "You're welcome to come take a look at it, but it is what it is, and we're moving on."
Yeah,
I was like, no discussion.
That's good.
And before, it used to kind of mess with my head a little, and I'd think about it. I felt stronger this time.
Good.
So, yes.
You're empowered.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah. I don't need a psychiatrist. I got our little therapy here. Thank you.
So, dealing with the pressures and the stress, that's similar from the pros. I mean, obviously they're playing for millions of dollars and they're playing for, different reasons, but it's pressure.
No, look at
and pressure is stress.
The player who was he was German, I guess, and he had someone yelling out Hitler slogans. You remember this?
I didn't see that.
Oh, this was during the U.S. Open. I thought you'd know it, so now I have to be
this
quoted
past
on
U.S. Open?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, and it was pretty bad. And it was some sort of like slogan about unifying Germany with Austria. I mean, it was hardcore Nazi propaganda that someone was yelling to him, and he stopped the whole match and went to the chair umpire, and they had the guy removed.
Well, rightfully so. That's disgusting.
But terrible. It just goes to show you how, obviously that's going to mess with his head, but sometimes you'd think a pro wouldn't have anything mess with their head.
No, there's a lot. They're human.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
Actually, number two.
Right.
That's good. I think we're on number, 3 or 4, but the similarities continue with physical conditioning. Just like the pros, they are going to play their best tennis if they're in the best condition they can be in.
We've never talked about this because I don't really like thinking about it, but what should we as recreational players do to be in the best condition?
I think you need to be training off the court. Tennis is anaerobic, and you're not going to...
That's a little aerobic.
It's anaerobic. You go up, down. Your heart rate goes up, your heart rate comes down. Your heart rate goes up, your heart rate goes down. You need to be training off the court. Obviously, maybe not to the extent that the pros do, but if you can be in the best physical condition for tennis, you have to train for tennis. Tennis is not going to put you in shape to play tennis. Does that make sense?
Yes, I hate hearing it, but yes.
I
look around and you need to do people strength out there, but you can see if people aren't working out in other sports.
If you can see, take a look at rec players. There's a lot of recreational players that are unfit.
Out of shape.
They're out of shape.
That's what I was trying to say.
They're out of shape and they can't, they're struggling finishing the matches in the heat. They are injuring themselves because they're out of shape. Right. That's a right. I think being in shape is the number one injury prevention when you're playing tennis.
Right. And because you use certain muscles with tennis and underuse other muscles, you can get a lot of underuse discrepancy.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times in a week somebody is getting injured with a hamstring pull, an Achilles pop, really debilitating injuries that keep them out for months at a time.
And they're people who aren't working out.
And they're you can see they're visibly out of shape.
Yeah.
And they just want to come and play a match. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. And I tell people all the time.
I've heard that it's good to play singles a lot just so you get more fit for doubles.
Can help. Yeah,
Can't hurt.
It's like the old adage, play doubles to help your singles. It would help your volleys and all sorts of things. But both are good. But playing tennis is not gonna get you in shape to play tennis.
All right, fine.
Okay. And I think that's it for those are my top 5.
Oh, we covered those very efficiently.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but I did have a bonus.
Okay.
I did have a bonus. The bonus is similarities between pro and rec is both love the sport and they love the beauty of the sport.
Mm. What do you mean by the beauty?
Tennis is a beautiful sport.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sport like it. It's that's why it will always be popular. It will never die. It's so difficult to play, and it's so much fun to play, and it's very hard to play. But the beauty of the strokes and the hits and everything is just I don't think there's a better sport out there.
Which is why it's so nice to go to an event like the Open
that you watch 3 points at.
Okay, I watched one set, and it's my best friend from 4th grade, and we looked at each other and we were like, should we leave and go to sushi?
There you go. I know. So you just wanted to go
fish. Oh my God, it was so good.
You just wanted to go there, so you say, "Yeah, I went to the Open. Hey, I'm going to the Open on. Yeah,
hey.
I'm gonna."
And then I went to the Open.
And then you went to the Open for like 30 minutes.
Jabor. Hey, here's some pictures of us with the court in the back. Hey, we had some melon ball cocktail.
It did. So you got to like, tell people, yeah, I went to the Open, and then you left in the middle of the match.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have an expression, you can't recapture rapture. So it's like we had that moment of arrival, of enjoyment, of all of this, and then we moved on to the next experience, which was Sugarfish in Soho, which was so good.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
While you were watching the U.S. Open, did you spend a lot of time, more time watching the match or searching the stands for stars?
No, I didn't do that at all. I'm not really into that.
No? Okay.
No.
All right. Okay.
No.
My mistake.
It's just not my thing.
I'm surprised.
No. If I'm there, I'm watching the match.
Okay.
I mean, I get a little bored and I talk to my friend a little bit, but not much.
Did you you want to talk about any funky rules that you saw that happened at the Open?
I didn't not there long enough to see it.
I have
no, but
one.
All right, test me on it.
Okay. I have one that I thought that, and I guess it happens in all the tournaments, and it kind of goes in line with the similarities between pro and rec, because that's all I'm dealing with in my life every day. The abuse of time seems to be an issue on the pro side, and it seems to be a huge issue on the rec side.
On the rec side too. So abuse of time, we're talking about in the changeover or going to get something.
Or in between points.
Oh my God! Like,
in between
let
points.
me put my glasses down. That's super annoying. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about more like it's 1-all, okay? And yeah, Coco Gauff had a big issue in her match, and she had to tell the umpire the rule. Like at 1-0, you're not supposed to switch sides. I mean, you switch sides, but you're not supposed to take a break at 1-0.
Right.
And the girl's sitting down taking a break.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think the opponent didn't know, or was the opponent?
No, these are everybody knows the.
So why didn't the umpire do anything? That's like a really bad violation.
The umpires are not enforcing the rules on the pros.
Okay.
They're not, and there's a
it's
time
a weird
clock.
dynamic.
There's a clock.
Yeah, and I saw sometimes the clock would run, sometimes it wasn't.
So the
running.
clock is running when they switch sides, and then the clock resets and starts after each point.
Okay, so why
the umpire resets the clock? So the umpire is not managing the court properly.
Right.
So in my mind, somebody like Coco Gauff was having a huge issue because here's what her opponent was trying to do strategically. They know that Coco Gauff likes to play fast. She misses, she makes a winner, whatever. She's ready to go. she doesn't take a lot of time in between. She plays on momentum.
So they're messing with her head.
So they're slowing her down,
right,
and doing all that.
I love it.
So that, and it was working and it was getting to her, but they weren't playing within the rules.
Right.
So that was a problem. And then the New York crowd, which is the best crowd in the world. You were there for a little bit.
I think Miami is probably the best crowd.
No, New York is.
It's not like they're so interesting because they're New Yorkers.
No, they're into it. They're out there watching this match at 2:00 in the morning, and it's a big time crowd. It's the best crowd in the world. Anyway, they booed her coming off the court, and she got really upset.
The opponent.
Yeah, I even forgot her name, but she's a.
What do you think about that? Booing people's not cool, but maybe it was justified in this case.
Well, New York crowd is like saying, "Hey, you play within the rules, or you play a great match, and we're going to applaud you."
Right.
But you mess with that, and the way you behaved on the court without the rules, then we're going to boo you.
Wow.
So the time situation is a huge thing, and for rec players, I see it every day. The ladies at 1-all should be not take switching sides, but they're going over and getting a drink.
Yeah.
And, because it's hot and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I
they're
thought
taking
USTA said at some point that you can take as many water breaks as you need in the heat.
Yeah, but they're abusing this rule. I mean, maybe if there's a heat advisory or if they announce it or something in a tournament, but not really.
There's no allowance for this?
No, I just took 4 teams to sectionals. We had heat advisory every day, and it was like over 100 degrees, and the umpire is walking around going, you can't take a break now. You can't have a drink right now. Like, people are cramping up left and right, and they were enforcing this rule.
Sued for this if somebody collapses. Everyone's going to have to talk to their psychiatrist about this.
And I'll get blamed somehow. But so abusing the time rule is a huge thing. I think it's mostly abused in rec play after a set.
Okay, so
they're coming off to take a
timing for
I mean,
rec play?
If they want to go to the bathroom for like a minute or two, if they got to go to the bathroom, it's just like a 2-minute break.
That's like a medical break. 2.5 minutes, I think.
I think it's 3 minutes for a medical break or something. But no, if you have to go to the bathroom, it's just like you're supposed to go to the bathroom and come off. These are like in there for like 15 minutes. So I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I think they're showering or something.
Nobody's in there for 15 minutes.
I'm telling you, ask a lot of the players, and they're like
during sectionals or
no. Sectionals is monitored. I'm talking about daily league play. That
I've never seen anyone.
A daily league play that is self-governed.
Right.
Which is, we always talk about that. It's dangerous.
All right, so for changeovers, would you know what the time is that you're allowed?
I think you're allowed a minute.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, you wipe your face, you take a drink, you can sit for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, that's it. You go.
Do you have another surprising rule for us?
I don't think that was like a surprise, that rule, but I mean, that's like I was just saying that's just something I noticed.
A surprising one then.
A surprising rule? Okay.
Like what do we call this? We call it
Did you know?
Did you know? Yeah.
Okay.
You have to do it in the form of a question.
Okay.
You can't just give it away.
Okay, okay.
And you have to start with did you know?
Did you know? How's that?
That's good.
Here's the question. Are you, am I asking you the question or am I giving you the rule?
No, you're asking me the question.
Okay. What happens if you go to serve and you totally missed the ball? You whiffed. Mm-hmm. Like a whiff.
Okay.
Is that a fault or do you get to do it over again?
Oh, that's a good question. We discussed what happens if a ball rolls onto the court.
Right.
That's a different issue. This is...
First of all, if you whiff, you're really bad. I think... I'm going to tell you about
Wait. Then it doesn't count because a whiff, what you're describing sounds like just throwing the ball up or like people do weird things with the ball all the time that mean nothing and don't count against anything. It's only when you make contact with the ball.
Okay, you're wrong.
It's good I'm not the pro.
Yes. So the answer to the question is, if you go to intend to serve, okay, like you're like an intention to serve, like you toss the ball up and you're going to swing.
Okay.
Whether you take a whole swing or whether you whiff or not, that's the intention to serve, and it's a fault.
Okay. So as long as you're kind of doing a serve.
Have you ever played anybody that whiffed?
I've never even heard the term before, but
you know the term whiff, right? Like you totally completely missed the ball.
It just happened in a match, and someone goes like, "Oh, sorry," and we were like, "Oh, yeah." We didn't know it was anything.
If you're playing one of those rule monger people, which usually is the captain of the team, they walk around with a clipboard before the match, to exchange lineups. Right. I usually have some sort of I don't even have any paper.
Your lineup exchanges are so makeshift, I have to say. You send us a text, and then someone becomes the self-appointed captain who's like, here's my screenshot of the text. It's I was thinking about that today. It's kind of embarrassing. We're like the
Did you win the match today?
Yes.
Did we win the match today?
Yep.
What are you embarrassed about?
Okay, so your point is that we're focused on the game, not the details.
I don't care about how we look exchanging the lineup. Okay.
I used to print out the actual.
Not only did we win, we won every match.
All right.
We swept them.
This is winning matches.
With the makeshift
you have your
exchange
focus in the right place. Okay.
With the exchange on a dry cleaning receipt.
That's what it was like.
So
we're like the low rent.
Yeah. So if you're playing one of these,
team.
if you're playing one of these rule mongery captains who are like persnickety, they're all like that.
Oh, I gotta tell you something so funny.
Okay.
So today, the other captain looks at all of us and she goes, "You guys you're the team that went to sectionals. Did you guys all make it to sectionals?" And Claudia goes, "Oh, I did." And I go, "Yeah, we all did."
Oh, so you lied. You lied. So
I wanted them to be into I didn't say we all did. I think I said yeah, our team did. And I squashed Claudia from saying she didn't. She wasn't part of that.
Let me correct you once again. So this team that you played on today did not go to sectionals. You played on a. Do you want me to say what you played on?
Oh, you mean my teammates didn't go to sectionals?
Some of your teammates were there that were at sectionals.
Well, that was their question. Their question
was, some of the teammates. Okay, I thought you meant the level of the team.
No, I'm not saying I'm cool because I was on the good team. I'm saying that the other captain said, "Are you guys all amazing superstars?" And one of our teammates was like, "Some of us aren't," and I was like, "Not so fast."
Oh, so you would.
I was like, "Yes, we're all great players."
You're riding in their coattails.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay.
It's legit. I'm not going to go out there and say some of us suck.
But if you whiff the serve, you suck.
Well, now that's probably going to happen to me.
Yeah, so
you just jinxed me. Thank you.
No problem. I don't think you'll ever whiff. I hope not.
No, I hope not. I hope you're not watching when it happens.
So I was getting to the rule mongery captain.
Yes.
Who loves to state rules on the court, and half the time they're wrong, but they sound so adamant,
right?
That they, that you're like, oh, okay, you probably know, right? So this would be a good one to throw in her face.
Yes, if somebody,
whips. And
it's really hard to have an instant replay of, oh no, she was doing this with her.
It's really hard to whiff. I'm going to go back to that. It is a real rule, but I'm going to go back to the fact that if you whiff on your serve, you shouldn't be on the team.
And just to clarify this, a whiff means you toss the ball and then you miss it.
You swing and miss.
Swing and miss. Okay.
Like you totally.
All right, let's not talk about it anymore. It's going to get in my head. Yes. All right, I think that does it for this episode of Winning Matches.
Today was fun.
It was fun. And thank you once again to Rockney, pickleball paddle manufacturer extraordinaire, and Vocal Tennis, 50 years of German engineering. I love saying that.
I think they're going to hire you. I mean, you sound like a spokesperson.
I know,
for them.
right?
Yeah, you not
if
only,
I said it in German.
Not only do you look great when you do these podcasts, you sound great.
Well, thank you. And I play great.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
All right, thanks, Jane.
You're welcome.
Check out winningmatches.com for more. Thanks for listening.